I hated living in the country. And now that I'm 40 something, I would love to go back. We lived across the street from my grandparents, and that was the best thing ever happened in my life. I think I left for Virginia Beach in fifth or sixth grade, and that was really, really hard. I passed out crying when we were supposed to be leaving. Um, but it was the greatest. It showed me things that I would never ever see if I stayed in Alabama. I went to Norfolk. That's where all the ships come in. Everybody. So you see all kind of people. I wish I still kept my yearbooks, but it showed me that there's more than 10 streets of Black people.
Really?
Yes, it was 10 streets where I lived in Alabama with Black people.
Now I
Just
heard, is it true that there's some parts in Alabama that are still segregated?
yes.
And I mean, kind of go into detail what it's like. You know, we're living in what 2023 now, and we think, okay, that's all behind us, right?
Mm-mm,
No.
no. Came home from school one day and there was a cardboard picture in the yard with the KKK on it. You need to die. Niggers.
Really? So
And I
it's
was
like
born in 78.
so it's kind of like what you read about in history books, where it's you think we're past that time period, but yet this still goes on to this day. Like, does it feel like it's captured in time during like out there? Like time has not moved, it's froze, and it's still in that time period. What's going on?
Yeah, I was shocked myself.
And heard something about the KKK marches and parades out there. That's how crazy it is.
I never saw one. I'm glad I didn't. So I'm quite sure they have them in certain areas further in the country because they probably don't even want to let people know who they are. Um, I've probably come across a few, but they will not would disguise themselves. High school was great because when I went down there in ninth grade, actually I was supposed to go to school in Tennessee, but Mama found another DOD job in Atlanta, so I went down there. Um, it was eye opening. The first school we were in is very dilapidated. It had two buildings, I think, two buildings and like 50 million trailers. I've never gone to school in a trailer before. Um, but we could leave campus and go get a lunch or go get some McDonald's and nobody would know. It was the best. We did not at that point in time. We had no policemen in our schools yet. Ninth grade came, and I always thought that was kind of weird. I guess maybe I wasn't really catching on to where I was and what was going on around me. But I felt that was really crazy. But it worked. He's the one caught me skipping school. So to get to where you getting going. So I learned how to drive really early. And one Sunday, my uncle got sick, and I had to drive a 5 speed all the way from Chattanooga to Atlanta. You couldn't tell me. I mean, I was a pro driver out there. After that, I was like, I can do anything. Mom was like, oh, no, you cannot.
No, you can't.
I was like, well, okay. I had fun while it lasted for that one trip.
That first taste behind the wheel, though, you're like, I need to get my license.
Right. Because I failed my test 2 times. I
Hey, I'm right there with you, man.
sure did. I failed my driving test 2 times.
That maneuverability is something else.
Oh my God. Mom was like, I'm not bringing you back from Atlanta no more to get I got an Alabama license, even though I went to school in Georgia.
What?
Hmm.
So you had to go out to them dirt roads, huh?
I was gone maybe 3, 4 minutes. We did a 3 point turn. I still could not hardly park myself. I have to get somebody else to do it. Um, when I had a mate, I would do the footwork and he would do the steering wheel. So now I just ride around because I can't do it. It's not healthy for anybody or
That's
safe.
more deeper in high school. When did you know what you wanted to do with life? What year was it? Was it your junior year, senior year,
I
college?
think it originally was my ninth grade because my mother was a computer analyst and we had that old time computer with a floppy disk.
Oh yeah.
Um, Nobody knew back down south. We didn't even know what it really was. And so the green and black screen, I said, I'm gonna be that person. No, no. The first semester, I was like, no, the first year and a half, I was like, I don't want to look at black and green for the rest of my life. So then I went into entrepreneurship and business. So I just dabbed a little bit of everything, but uh, insurance was my thing.
Nice.
Medical insurance, health insurance. I help people find uh, discount ways to get their medication and doc. I still do that, even though I haven't worked since 2017. It just feels so great that I can teach them that there's a better world out there that we can get free stuff from
Yeah.
at the club. I had seen him at this dinner place we went to, but he said, "I saw you looking at me." I was like, "Really?" And when we got to the club, he asked me to dance. We dated forever and ever. I don't remember how long it was, but I never married him, and I should have. I should have married him. I didn't know like the rings he would really giving me were like, engagement ring. He never said, Lita, marry me. But a lot of men don't say that. They just, like give you a ring. He had a ring too. I don't know what I was thinking, but life went on. So he was from Virginia and DC. He went back in 2003. I was at my grandmother's house in from Murfreesboro on a Sunday, and I'm packing up my stuff, getting ready to go. And I receive a call, and it's Chris's grandmother. I've known Chris most of my life, and he was back in town. And she was like, "Hey, baby, this me, Mom. He wants to come see you." I said, "Okay, it's before I leave for Nashville." And from that day forward, we were together. Very toxic relationship on both sides. We ended up getting married. We married 3, 4, 5 years, so I don't even remember when. But it was a learning lesson of the things that I will never, ever, ever, ever allow me to do. If you're ever unhappy, leave, say so, raise your hand, even if it's not what the other person wants to hear. And that's what I'm trying to do in life. Be ready for both answers.
Yes.
You can't just for the good one, but maybe if they say the bad, how are you going to accept that and process change? But then I got sick. And then you just accept what goes on because you think that you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not intelligent enough because you've gone through this neurological disease that a lot of friends fell by the wayside. And I was telling my mother, everybody has a season in your life, a season. When I got sick at 36, 37 years old, I was still jumping with the cats. Okay. Riding all over the state, going to parties, just do what 30 something years do. But people from there could not come over to be in this season that I am now. Front door. And I said to myself, your life is getting ready to change. Everything about your life is getting ready to. She came in, she said, Lita, what are you doing? I said, it's a little cooler down here. The heat's too high. So, I was just down here laying down here because, a little cooler down here. She said, how long you been? I don't know how long. I said, I'm just chilling. She said, Lita, get up. I'll start crying. She says, you can't kill me. I said, no, I can't walk. From that day forward, my life changed in a lot of ways. And what's even crazier is when I was married, I still went to Alabama to go to church. So, pastor's wife had a wreck. They took her to Shepherd. I went to see her all the time. Me and her now have a picture in her same room in our wheelchairs.
What?
I worked in insurance and workers' home. I had sent patients to Shepherd, so I knew about it. I never thought that I would be in there myself, just a visitor.
So when did you find out what it was that was you were sick with?
Well, I was walking around my mother on my feet. I mean, on her feet because every few feet, my knee would dislocate.
Mhm.
So we went to my cardiologist. I've had that since fifth grade, and I came in a wheelchair that we borrowed from somewhere. And he was like, "Why are you in a wheelchair? You're healthy." I said, "Doc, I can't walk." And he may have asked a couple more questions, but he was like, hold on, I'm gonna call my friend. You need to go see him. So they were like, send her through the ER. I thought I was about to get an X-ray, some pills, something, and I get to go back home. So I mean, I'm just happy go lucky. Hey, I'm getting ready to go home and be healed. So when we get down there, Mama and the hospitalist have uh, coffee, and she told her what was going on. Mama had no expression on her face when the doctor stood at the end of my bed and said, "Look, you have Guillain-Barré syndrome. If you do not get this IV treatment within the next, let's say, 5 hours, you're gonna die." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Or be a quadriplegic or a paraplegic." Those words stung because
Wow.
those are the patients that I had. That stung, and I said to myself, "Well, what is really going on?" But I never ever got mad about what happened to me because every time I want to do something in my life and I don't listen to the Lord, um, that time he brought me all the way down. He was telling me, "Leader, you got to slow down. Stop doing what you're doing." And you know what I say? "Oh Lord, just give me a few more days. I'm gonna do it. After this, I'm gonna do it." So when I was on the floor, I told the Lord, you really did not have to do all that. He was like, "Yes, I did." So my life, I've seen things for other people. I talk to the Lord just like I'm talking to you. And most of the time he's telling me and I'm arguing, "Oh my God, I don't want to do this." Um, but that I was put in that hospital that I had visited when I was walking. I came in a wheelchair. So after I got the IVIG, they said you had to go rehab. Well, I knew I couldn't walk good, but I didn't know it was that bad.
Mhm.
And I was in that hospital maybe 10 or 12 minutes. I mean, you just keep thinking, Lord, not really. This is not really what's going on in your life. When I got to Shepherd, they put me in the bed. They brought me in my wheelchair. They said 8 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna be in in exercise. We did it 8 hours a day. I felt like talking to nobody. If a lot of people just drop by because I'm not answering the phone. My mental state is, oh my God, why am I in here?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. People would drop by lunch, come and wait in my room because I wasn't calling nobody. I did not want any single person to see me at my weakness. And I thought I was weak at that one time. Instagram is Leida Laster. Facebook, I think, is Lily Laster. I think Twitter's Leida Laster too. They could reach out anytime.
I'm gonna find you your millions of followers.
By the time I wake up in the morning. I'm going to be an influencer when I wake up in the morning.
Amen.